So for those of you guys who haven't been following my Instagram for the last 6-ish years, thanks for nothing, I guess. Actually, what I meant to say was about 6 years ago, I took an in-house job at a large Western fashion and workwear company based here in California. And in that time, I went from just shooting e-com in the studio to the occasional location shoot to now I'm taking on about a third of the campaigns and managing the photo studio that we're in here. And trust me, it's a lot of campaigns. And on top of that, I'm still doing personal work, testing, shooting for fun. So kind of busy. Typically, I'm on location about 2 weeks out of every month. We shoot a ton. Since I've been here, I've been able to go to England, Wales, Iceland, Mexico, and I think 27 out of 50 states. When I'm shooting on location, it's not uncommon to be shooting in well over 100 degrees. Sometimes it's super humid, sometimes it's really dry and dusty. We're on ranches dodging 1,000-pound animals. Sometimes it's freezing, snow, rain, the works. We're really hard on gear. I beat the crap out of this stuff, and I've kind of tailored this kit to be super functional and reliable for everything that I would need to shoot when I'm shooting digital. I'm actually packing for a shoot right now, so I figured I'd make this quick little video running you through my kit in case anybody's curious. Alright, I want to preface all of this by saying I'm not really a gear person. I love gear and cameras just as much as the next dork who likes photography, but I'm not a brand whore, and most of the time I would say that any modern camera is going to be good enough for the majority of shooters. What I'm doing is kind of niche and a little bit of an extreme use case, so everything in my kit has been tailored for reliability, durability, robustness, and ergonomics. Those are really important to me. So let's dive into the kit. We'll start with the basics with the camera. We use Canon R5s. I think this is about as close as you can get to a perfect stills camera right now. Nice blend of high resolution, great image quality, really good autofocus, pretty good low light, general all around great camera, really good ergonomics, and it's been super robust and reliable. We used to shoot with Sony cameras. I found their pro support to be really lacking. Canon is just located right down the street from us in Costa Mesa, so when we inevitably break something, we can get things fixed really fast. Love them, haven't had any problems. Always 2 bodies. Second one, just in case. It's also, we shoot on a lot of dusty places, not having to swap lenses all the time is really good, especially on a mirrorless camera. But more realistically for me is, if I fall into a frozen river, I get thrown off the back of an ATV and break a camera. Both of those things have happened, by the way. Having a second body is really clutch. If you have one body and it goes down, you're kind of shit out of luck. If you've got a backup, you just dry off or dust yourself off and you keep shooting. Lens-wise, kind of the standard workhorse pairing of lenses for most commercial photographers, 24-70, 70-200. Both of them are the RF version. Really solid, can't complain about either one. Next up, doesn't get used as often, but if I ever need a grand landscape or want to do something really weird and quirky, 15-35 RF. Doesn't come out often, but it's better to have it and not need it than need it and not have it. For when I'm really needing to reach out and touch somebody, the RF 100-500. I hate that this lens has such a slow aperture, but compromising on size and portability and zoom range, it's a pretty solid option. We may replace it with the 100-300 at some point, but if I'm shooting horses out running out in a field or just any scene where I physically can't get close enough, having that reach is awesome. I always carry at least one film camera with me. Typically it's this guy. It's my Voigtlander Bessa. I do plan on making a separate video about my film gear if anybody's interested, but this comes with me everywhere, especially like on scout days or when we're just hanging out with the team. It's my go-to carry everywhere camera. I'm not really big on filters. I generally don't believe in putting a shitty cheap piece of glass in front of a really expensive one, But if I'm shooting welding or any other type of activity where there's debris flying at the lens, I will throw on a UV. But I also am a big fan of circular polarizers. I do generally either Hoya or Tiffin filters, but if I'm shooting through the windshield of a truck or the window of a building, having a circular polarizer to cut the reflections is really important. I carry an army of LPE6s. I only buy Canon batteries. The third-party ones, I don't trust them. They just seem shady and sketch to me. Buy the real thing. Memory card wallet, I use SanDisk CF Express and the Sony Tough Series SD cards as backups. Carry a whole bunch of them because we shoot a lot. I always bring a card reader. You never know when you might need to dump mid-shoot. This is a pro grade. It does both SD and CF Express. Haven't had any complaints with it thus far. Rain cover. Like I said before, we shoot in shitty weather a lot, and I know these cameras and lenses do have some weather sealing, but if you're out in the shitty weather for 9, 10, 11 plus hours, it's easier for your gear to get waterlogged, and I'd rather put a rain cover on and keep it running nicely than just let it get drenched. Now for some non-photography specific related things that I carry in my kit. Always a pair of gloves. You just never know when you're going to need them. I carry a net gaiter. It's really dusty on a lot of the places that I shoot, so having something like that, good to have. This cheap Milwaukee headlamp. My day usually starts way before the sun comes up and ends way after it ends. And being able to use this to just see in my kit or not trip over my feet because I'm a klutz, really helpful. I always carry Advil or ibuprofen in my case because I'm old and broken and everything hurts. I also, in that kind of same vein, carry a set of earplugs. We shoot in loud environments sometimes, machine shops, shooting firearms. It's nice to have Ear Pro, protect your ears. And then the last thing in my kit that I always carry is this cheap boonie hat. I've talked about them before. This was like 10 bucks on Amazon. I burn like it's nobody's business, and I always wear a hat, as you can tell. This is nice because when you're shooting with a baseball cap, the camera always pushes it up. That drives me crazy. This just sort of bends out of the way. Cheap, nice to have. As far as the case itself, it's an SKB. It's kind of like the bootleg Pelican. They're a little cheaper. People make fun of it, but I don't have any problems, and I actually like the telescoping handle on this better than the one on the Pelicans. It does have a think tank divider system in it. Keep my stuff organized. I like to arrange things in a particular way, and I've got this pretty well dialed so I know where everything is at any given time. But that's basically the whole kit. Let me know if you have any questions. Like I said, I do plan on making a separate video about film photography specific kit, so if you're interested in that, let me know. Otherwise, I guess I just gotta pack all this shit back up because I'm going to the airport in the morning.